everybody, and welcome. That's not what I wanted at all. We're doing it again.
Oh boy.
Shazam! Look, the power of technology. We have gone into what is actually our layout for today, June 20th, as we experience Rime of the Frostmaiden, Part 23, Council of Speakers. As we said earlier, today is June 20th, 2021, and you are loved. That is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, including full playthroughs of Curse of Strahd, Ghost of Saltmarsh, Waterdeep Dragon Heist, Tomb of Annihilation, and most recently our Masks the Green Sun campaign using the Masks a New Generation tabletop RPG from Magpie Games. Absolutely fantastic game mini-series, not just as the storyteller behind it, but also as a fan of the players that are in it. Go check it out. It's really neat, but obviously after this game. We are also available anywhere audio casts are made available for free, and speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community, but also from each other. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us again at patreon.com/indooradventures. But let's say you already support us on YouTube, you already support us on Patreon and Twitch and all of these other places, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? Guess what, buddy? I got your back, quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks, wall scrolls, maybe? I don't really know. Redbubble has a lot of neat stuff on there, including, but not limited to, tea masks designed by our very own Cyberwolf 1201, where all the proceeds end up going to help support Doctors Without Borders. And we did it just in time. There are 11, maybe 10 days left, depending on when you guys are viewing this. But hey, we have a Pride line now. That's right. You can go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, and we have t-shirts, posters, mugs, crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, and aprons, all that have hand hearts that say you are loved in a variety of Pride flags. If you do not see your flag there, please leave a comment below. Hit me up on Twitter or even indoor.adventurer@gmail.com. Like, let me know, and we will do our best to add your flag to our variety of merchandise, because we want you and also the people that you care about to know you are loved. That's a very important message that we like to say at the beginning of each of these games, and also sometimes the end of the game as well, and obviously throughout the entirety. But all of the proceeds of that Pride merch, at least for the rest of the month, is going to be going to support Lambert House, which helps trans kids. So go check that out. But that is it for my spiel. Liz, or no, Satan, who are you playing today?
Hi everyone, my name's Satan, and today I will be playing Kuori, our Goliath fighter, and we both go by she/they.
Oh, hi, it's me, LizMac. I'm back this week playing Lydia, our rock gnome cleric, and we both use she/her pronouns.
I am the Indoor Adventurer, and tonight I shall be playing as Hart, the Wood Elf Druid. We both use he, him.
I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener, she, her. I'm the DM for tonight. Let's get started. Behold her everlasting rhyme, see how it covers all. Weep not for those she traps in time, behind her glacial wall. When we last left off, I do believe that Lydia was busy with a ritual that was going to take several days, blessing some Chardolin in preparation to have it inset into some armor that Kuori was crafting for her out of some boulette chitin that they had harvested from a boulette that Lydia had slain with what's the word I'm looking for? It's not impudence. It's like malice, but not.
I was big Angie.
Yeah,
Big
it's
Angies.
true. She did that. She was mad and she killed it. It's dead now, for good reason. However, I believe that unless there's anything that you want to cover as far as the ritual blessing the Chardolin goes, Liz, we could start off with Lydia, sort of coming out of the several day trance that she was in, to find that the Chardolin around her glows with a faint holy light that begins to fade, but still responds to her touch. And when she reaches out to it with when she reaches out to it for the familiar connection of divine magic, she can sense that the power of the Raven Queen are in these black crystals. However, she finds some cookies next to her. I believe Hart left her some cookies. And aside from that, the cabin is largely empty. Sort of wandering about, you are able to find a few notes. One from Kuori explaining that they had left. Somebody was trapped in a ruin and needed help, and it couldn't wait. And there is a note there letting you know when to expect them to get back. They'll probably be back in like a day or so, hopefully. Otherwise, you might have to go looking for them. And another note that you find is a piece of unopened mail that's just kind of sitting on the counter. And you come over to it, and you can see that it is from someone named Hlyn Trollbane.
Do I recognize the name?
Give me a history check.
Oh, hold on. Gotta pull up D&D Beyond for the first time today. Oh, there we go. I have it saved to my homepage with the little picture of Lydia, so I just click on Lydia's face and it brings it up. But it takes a second to load because it's D&D Beyond. I believe my history is +4. So
Hlyn Trollbane?
Hlyn Trollbane.
Okay.
15.
15. You would remember her, actually, as an ex-adventurer who had approached... Well, no, actually, you wouldn't remember her. Shoot, yeah, you weren't there for that. God darn it. Okay, I will...
Who is it addressed to?
It's addressed to Kuori, specifically.
Lydia would probably... Here's what's going to happen. So while everyone is away, and Lydia has woken up from a very long, very stressful, magic-draining trance, she's going to have a little bit of you're homesick from school, but your parents are at work type of day. And she's walking around the house with the cabin with like a shirt on and underwear, but no pants, and like eating just food from a bowl at random hours of the day, music going, like, and she's going to put the letter down. And the first day that they're gone, she'll just like walk past it. That's fine. The second day that they're gone, she's going to look at it a little bit longer. And if they're gone a third day, she will use her magic to create a little steam to lift the wax where you can't tell it's been lifted.
Oh, amazing.
And read the letter.
All right. It's from a... like, you recognize the name as a dwarven name. Mm-hmm. It's from a dwarven ex-adventurer. The like return address is in Bryn Shandar somewhere. It basically says, I heard that you took care of Sefik. I am a dwarf of my word. And I know I promised you 400 gold, but I heard you had a little trouble, so I added a little something extra for you. And there is a little pouch that came along with it, and it's filled with 400 gold.
Lydia will, again, heat up the wax a little bit and just reclose it, curiosity sated, and will continue living large in the cabin, just kind of relaxing for the first time in a very long time. She'll probably read a book that she's meant to read for a while, and it's just been too busy to do so. Just really having a good old relaxing time while everyone's gone.
At some point while everybody's gone, there will be a knock at the door. And when you go to answer it, you find behind it there is a man in winter clothing, just kind of all covered up, in the way that most people in oh my goodness,
Lonelywood?
no, the entire place. Holy
Tentowns?
Tentowns?
sure, yeah.
Neverwinter?
Okay, like smaller than Neverwinter, but bigger than Tentowns. Like my brain said Rime of the Frostmaiden, and I'm like, that's not a place, that's the name of the book.
Icewind Dale.
Thank you. Oh my god.
It's the prefix to the other part.
It's
Sometimes
fucking Wimby.
sometimes my brain just goes like, this is where the information is, and like blocks off all other information, and I'm all like, it's not in there. I swear it's not in there. It's all like, it's in there. You can't have any of the other information in your brain. It's in only this little pocket. Oh, okay.
Happens to the best of us.
Anyway,
I will remind you, there is a sign on the door that says no vacancy.
it does. However, the person who is
Can't
knocking,
read.
yeah,
This sign can't stop me. I can't read. Sorry.
person who is knocking at the door has an axe beak behind them. And Lydia, you recognize this as a mail carrier in Tentowns. It's basically the Axe Beak Express. They carry mail in between the towns.
It's Bobbert.
It's Bobbert. Oh, hey there. I didn't know about this sign. I figured I'd give it a try. Cause I'm kind of carrying a lot of money here. I just I didn't want to hold on to it for too long.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I will happily take that off your hands.
And he just like hands you a pouch. You can hear the clatter of precious gemstones inside. And he hands you a letter that has the crest of East Haven on it.
Do you need to see some ID? Do you need me to sign?
Oh shoot! I probably should, huh?
There's a lot of money.
It is. I'm really. I haven't been doing this for too long.
Oh, you're doing great.
I just wanted to hang out with Axe Beaks. I think they're pretty cool, but the mail part is really stressful.
Hey, I definitely understand, but you're doing a fantastic job so far.
Thanks. And he'll check your identification.
Do we have ID?
you pull out your Axe Beaks driver's license. It would have to be like a signet or a ring of some sort. I imagine that
my employee card from my parents' store.
Yeah, exactly. You would either have like a written missive or more likely a signet ring of some sort. He checks that, makes sure everything's good, and he hands it off to you. You like what do you check the money first or the letter first?
Firstly, I ask our lovely mail carrier, are you hungry? Do you want to warm up inside for a minute? Or
I'm not allowed to accept any gifts or anything.
Lydia says, "Oh, just wait one moment," and she goes and she'll get a few of the, because I imagine that like Hart came by every day that they were there, that Lydia was at a trance, it just left new piles of cookies.
Yeah, if possible.
So having woken up surrounded by cookies, she like wrapped them so they wouldn't get stale, and she grabs a stack of good cookies and hands them to the mail carrier. These are extra. They're not a gift, but they're really yummy, and your Axe Beak will like them too.
Did we name this Axe Beak?
Bobbert's Axe Beak? No.
Mike'sicle.
No. Okay.
Mike-sicle? That's the name of it?
Yeah, his name's
It is
Mike,
now.
short for Mike'sicle.
I was gonna ask Satan to do it, but I am so glad that they cut in. Okay, yeah.
Bob and Mike, short for Bobbert and Mike'sicle.
Here you go, Mike. Tosses like the entire bag of cookies into the air, and Mike just eviscerates it, just like. Rah, 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 rah. You ever see like a secretary bird like attack a snake?
Yeah, they just fucking step on the bitch like it's Dance Dance Revolution.
Yep. It's brutal.
Okay.
It's revolution. shit.
I was just gonna say, like, a Cookie Monster level of enthusiasm, but yeah, that works too, I guess.
You never see a secretary bird like kill a snake.
No, but I'm
That
gonna
bitch
Knights in
is
the
going
Courtyard
for
this.
blood.
You ever seen a secretary bird? They're wild as fuck.
Yeah.
Every time. We just get weird birds.
Dear,
God damn.
dear listeners, downtime means chaos with this crew.
It's so true, though. I was all like, oh my god, how am I going to be able to fill all this time?
Don't worry
Tell you
about
what.
it. We got you.
I don't gotta try. All right, so Bob and Mike head off, leave you with a bag of gems and a letter from East Haven.
Lydia will very quickly go to the letters and see if any are specifically addressed to her or the party as a whole.
This one's specifically addressed to the party as a whole.
Then she will open it without any sneakiness.
Without any duplicity.
Yes. Granted, she would not have opened Kuori's letter had they come back on the first day or the second day. It was the third day. She just had to know.
I hear you. I hear you.
What if it was them sending secret messages for help? I would never know unless I looked.
Oh, exactly. Precisely. You crack open this letter. It's from Speaker Daneth Whalen. Essentially saying, like, thanks for the report on everything that you did over at the Dark Duchess. I'm sure you did everything you could. It's good knowing that Chardolin is out of the wrong hands. We have sent you payment for your job, and we'll let you know if we need any more help.
Excellent, excellent. Lydia will spend the rest of the afternoon. She will finally put pants on again. And like sit down at one of the desks and count up the money and jewels with the existing party fund and come up with a new total.
All right.
For all of that.
I'm taking my money too.
So it's 400 gold pieces from Hlyn Trollbane for killing Suffolk. And you will find 12 500 gold piece gems for the Dark Duchess job.
We're rich now. Shit.
12.
We got adventurer
boy.
money.
Yep.
Oh boy.
I could get a ring of spell sword, maybe.
And that's 6,000 gold pieces.
Holy shit.
Okay, hold on.
In total.
So I think what Lydia would do is, being very democratic as she is, everyone would get 4 of the gems normally because math, but everyone is going to get 2 of the gems, and then the rest are going to, the other 6 are going to go into the party fund, which puts the party fund, so that everybody knows, at $5.3 thousand, and you each get 1,000 gold worth of gems.
Okay.
Yes. Maths. I hate math. Why did I make myself the treasurer?
Oh, good question. Speaking of,
Wait, how much did we get in gold? Sorry.
1,000 gold
1,000
per
gold
person.
Gemmies and 1,000 gold.
No. 1,000 gold total. It's in gems,
Okay,
but
got you.
and then the party fund is at 5.3 thousand.
All right, and while you're sitting down crunching numbers, Lydia, you and Kuori had sat down and worked out how much the materials are going to cost for your armor, and that's going to be 2,000 gold pieces.
I will pay for it with my money.
Okay. And that's all of the number crunching that I've got for right now, right up until the moment where we go into town and you guys start buying things. But that's it for now. So we leave Lydia, puts on her little cap and starts doing the accounting. Glasses on the tip of, just balanced on the tip of her nose, burning the midnight oil, working out the party funds. We'll cut back to Hart and Kuori. You guys are very close to getting to home. A few days ago, you actually parted ways with Roberta and Dazan, just on account of the fact that they're not going to want to head to Lonelywood. In fact, they're going to head more towards Bryn, Shandar, thinking that that's going to be a better place for them to go. Dazan gets the idea that maybe less people will recognize him there. And Roberta is going to be a little bit better set up for continuing her travels by going to Bryn Shandar. So they say their goodbyes and split off from you. They go on foot, and you guys continue on your dogs.
Yeah. Eventually, like, it's just like Kuori, like, opening the door. Like, it's a dark and snowy night. There's a huge big silhouette of a figure on the door, and you just see Kuori. Hey, Lydia, you done?
Yep. Lydia is like in one of Kuori's. Like, I imagine Kuori having like a really nice reading chair by the fire, but Lydia can like have one head, like have her head resting on one armrest and then her feet up on the other.
Oh yeah.
And she's just big chilling, reading a book. There's a pile of money on one of the tables and gems as you walk in. Why do we have
so much money?
Well, we got a lot of mail. There's a letter for you, Kuori. It's addressed to you, so it's right there for you to read, sealed and everything. And then we got some money for dispatching of our good old buddy Sefik, and for the job with the Charlatan. So I've relegated it into personal and party funds, and all of that is done, so you don't have to worry about it. You guys can just come in and get warm. I've got a good fire going and some food, and there's like a nice veggie stew currently going on the fire.
Okay. Yeah, that would be nice. Kuori will kind of start taking off jackets and just pick up the letter, open it, read it.
Hart is just like rushing in, give Lydia a big hug, and then he's gonna tell her all about Roberta. Like,
yes, tell me everything.
Like, we met this hobgoblin who wasn't really a hobgoblin. They were actually a snowman, but only a snowman after you took their hat off. And like, he's just like rattling it off. There have been so much. He found out Roberta talked to his Axebeak, and the Axebeak's name is Basket.
Lydia is just like listening intently and like brushing snow off of Hart's like coat and shoulders, and there's a few pieces of like foliage stuck in his antlers.
Always.
She's just mindlessly taking off. So
hey Lydia.
Yes, Kuori?
Did you read my letter?
It was sealed and addressed to you.
Yeah, but you also said we got money for dispatching of Sefik, which is what the letter says.
Look, I heard it jingle, and as the party treasurer, I wanted to make sure that all
the coin purse and the letter are two separate things, Lydia.
No. It was inside the envelope.
Oh, this entire 400 gold was inside this little paper envelope.
I thought maybe what if you're trying to send me a distress signal and I had to come rescue you?
Why would I address it to myself? Why?
Because it's coming to your house. Otherwise, it might accidentally end up at my parents' place, and I'd never get it because my mom totally goes through my mail.
So you're your mom now? You go through my mail?
Oh, God.
You're turning into your mother.
Oh, God.
Kuori's just going to walk over to Lydia and just thump on the top of her head with the letter, which is it's just paper, but just boop, boop.
I love you.
I love you too. And she'll just pick her up and give her a hug.
I'm so glad you're both home.
Good, good. Let's eat and talk about the how illegal it is to open and read other people's mail.
Everybody gets caught up on what happened at the Netherese Tower. Kuori, you can open up your pack and start unpacking the multitude of books that you got there. Lydia, you see Kuori stacking up piles and piles of what looks like very old and very complicated books.
What do you got there, Kuori?
Books.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. I meant what types of books. You got some, historical fiction. You got some romance.
If I don't tell you, are you going to go through my stuff again?
I make no promises. It's books, and if there's smut there, I will find it.
Unfortunately, there is no smut, but I do have. I don't remember where we put the names of those books.
I know that there are a few things that are specifically mentioned in there, but I'm also willing to say, like, if you're looking for particular information on certain things, we now have an excuse for, like, where that knowledge came from. We now have a nebulous treasure trove of books.
Yeah. I do have two specific ones that we did right, which is Ajumar's Guide to the Fantastic and The Unfettered Mind.
Ooh.
This last one is a little. It talks about like how to exist as a disembodied brain, then preserved in like a magical suspension fluid. It's a lot of sketches. I didn't want to show Hart. This one, The Guide to the Fantastic, is on illusion magic.
Oh.
And then I got a bunch of ones on potions making, which is good because I have 3 potion bases and I have no idea what to do with them.
Well, then it seems some studying is in order.
I know, this is great. I love it.
That was another thing I wanted to bring up, is that during this this time that we're going to have where you're finishing up the armor and working on your own armor that you've planned out, you've decided that you wanted to get some adamantine armor as well, right? You can I don't know, did we discuss that on air? Was that just before?
No, that was just before going on air.
All right. Yeah, so by paying the regular amount of money, what would be essentially, you're going to pay the regular amount for a set of armor. For Rule of Cool, you are paying for materials to make your own armor, and then we're just hand waving the time that would take and saying that you are buying higher quality materials that would take less time to make.
And I'll decide what the other books are, because I kind of want to go through and see what I want to, like, probably after this game or during break.
Something might come up during game. We'll see.
Yeah. Just because I don't want to say, like, this is a book on tying knots.
Well,
I already know everything that's in it.
we can decide on case by case. We can figure it out. It'll be fine.
But I do have 4 potion bases that can make like resistance to like elemental and stuff like that. So I was thinking we could all have one, and there'd be an extra one. I could like customize it to each one, so I could make like a potion of cold resistance or lightning or like force. No, sorry, I think it's just elemental bases. I'll double check. I don't know. But yeah. Do you want something? Do you want to resist something?
So while Kuori is kind of just like nerding out over the books, Lydia is still listening intently, but she's also like walked into the kitchen area and has started making some like hot cocoa and just like a few snacks, and brings it over to Kuori and like sets it down at her like desk area and her little reading nook. Which is something that Lydia will continually do over the course of the next few weeks, where she just becomes a little bit of a house mouse while Kuori is studying and creating armor. And just like every time that Kuori like has this feeling of, I'm getting hungry or getting thirsty, she'll look to her left and there will already be food and a drink there.
Thanks. Are you using that psychic thing again?
Maybe. You'll never know.
We're going to go to Bryn, Shandar, correct?
Eventually.
While we're still in Lonelywood, I want to stop by the speaker's house.
Okay. Sure thing.
I'll bring over like toys for the kids that she's made or something.
Yep.
I forgot the speaker's name, but
Nimsy Huddle.
Nimsy. Hey, Nimsy, good to see you.
Well, hello there. What's going on?
I was just wondering, is that all in still for sale?
Well, yes, actually. It's not for sale so much as just kind of rotting away in the corner of town. It's kind of up for grabs. Do you just want to... Are you going to do it?
Well, I don't know about opening an inn, but it seems I'm taking on bigger smithing projects. And if I opened up like a blacksmith that's had open rooms, I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I do need the bigger space, and I know this place was still up for grabs.
All right. Yeah. That would definitely work out. I mean, honestly, there's kind of there's a need here for an inn. Like all the people who come into town are all just staying at my place for now. But like Danae could always just like get the Lucky Liar up and running as an inn. She doesn't have to stay a tavern forever. A tavern and an inn can be the same building. It doesn't make any sense to me that why they keep on putting them into separate buildings and stuff like that. I always get them mixed up.
You know what? You're right. I am considering putting it up as an inn. But I might talk to a few people first.
All right. Well, just let me know and I'll make sure to get the paperwork all figured out for that.
Oh, well. Thank you.
This entire conversation occurs while just like kids are running around. Doing that.
Kuori probably has like 2 kids on each arm that she's just like pull up so they hang from her biceps.
Yeah, like a kid goes running by with a screwdriver and she just snatches it out of his hand and he keeps going.
Yeah. But yeah. I was thinking one of the ideas was to turn that into an inn again, live there, and turn my old place into a blacksmith's workshop.
Oh, I could see that working out too as well.
Yeah. I don't know why, but like the name The Frosty Anvil came to mind.
That sounds very...
Forged in ice.
We'll workshop it.
We'll workshop those. I don't know.
Better than the ramshackle. I mean, like, it's all ramshackle now. I know it was supposed to be a pun, but it doesn't sound like a place you'd want to stay.
Yeah, like it just didn't age well.
Well, I mean, it's aging. That's for sure. Yeah,
but it's still not aging well. But yeah, how about this? Because if not, I'll never do it. Get the paperwork. Let's get the paperwork ready, and then I'll start doing some plans on renovating. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay.
She like opens up a drawer. It's all full of like sewing like equipment and stuff, and she like kind of rummages around in it and like gets out some papers that were like underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
And she just like immediately gets to work on it, all the while she's got like a kid, like a baby on her hip.
Mm-hmm. The Kuori's just giving the baby like a bottle, like a sippy cup.
Yep.
But after that's done, she's just gonna go back to the little cabin, and then just look to Hart and Lydia. I did something. I don't know if it was the right thing.
Oh, what do you mean? Did you get into a fight? Did you accidentally kill someone? Do we
No,
have to bury a body?
no. Believe it or not, that is not my day-to-day life here in Lonelywood.
No, I know, but like you did the way you phrased it, I was a little worried. What did you do?
Well, do you both remember that inn, that the Ramshackle Inn at the edge of town?
Yeah.
so.
The one with the ghost heart?
Hart sort of like gets a little close and just, is it a nice ghost or a bad ghost?
I don't know yet. We'll have to find out.
Well, why will we have to find out?
Because I own the place now.
Congratulations!
Did you beat
What?
the ghost in order to get control of it?
Is the ghost your new roommate?
I don't know. I haven't been to it yet. But listen, I don't. You know the whole, oh, we're supposed to defeat that big evil because this old lady from a cult had like a dream and we were in that dream and whatever stuff.
I've been told, yes.
Yes. Listen, I don't know if that's the truth. I don't know if that will happen, but
It will.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about that yet. But you know, it might be nice to think of a future. And I did, I am good at blacksmithing. I technically never got promoted to full blacksmith because, I was like exiled before I got to do that and all that stuff. Oh no. But I could turn my little hut here into a smith while I run the inn as well and stay there and make money. But I might need a lot of help.
Well, whenever this path that we're on is done, however long that takes, I definitely don't want to move back in with my parents. So I'd be happy to help with the inn if you'll have me. Once we fulfill our destiny, if we're all still around. That sounded a lot more morbid than I meant it to. I just meant that, like, I don't want you to take this as like an official acceptance of employment or anything like that, because what if I can't commit to that? And what if I end up not being able to help and then you're short-staffed? And yeah.
Okay. Would you like to help me with an inn, Hart?
If you own an inn, does that mean there's going to be pie?
Yes.
Then yes.
We'll call it Hart's Pie.
You would
We could
do
even-
that for me?
Of course.
And
You
Hart
can
just
decide
has
what
this
flavor it is.
eyes watering at the idea of somebody naming a pie after him.
Are you okay?
Mm-hmm. And he just sort of like wipes at his eyes.
Okay. Just give him a little hug.
Hart,
Okay.
maybe we could also make a garden at the inn so that we can grow stuff for the pies, or Kuori's going to learn how to make potions so we can grow some of the ingredients that they need. And then maybe Chewingas will come and help us.
Yes. I want more forest friends. Speaking of, they're in, Danica's in Bryn Shandar, right?
I think when we last left Danica, she was in East Haven. So who knows where she is by now?
Okay, but I had told that Chewinga that I would come back to East Haven.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You do know that it's Danica's plan to go to each of the Tentowns and basically teach people how to make their own like little Chewinga-powered greenhouses, essentially.
Yeah.
And that's how she's gonna make the world a better place. But that's like the she's only really got a prototype going in East Haven.
Okay.
Last time you heard.
Yeah. Yeah, Hart's on board for helping out with this, especially if more Chewingas show up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it sounds like the plan right now for as time passes is we're going to get a couple of sets of armor fixed up and ready to go. And we're going to get to work on basically getting the inn up and running. Or rather, like getting started on refurbishing the ramshackle into an inn, and then converting your cabin into more of a blacksmith situation,
like with an actual proper forge.
All right. So we can get into the nitty gritty of that later. I'm gonna have to dig out my water deep rules and like get the inn up and running. But you basically start getting to work on putting in orders for like lumber and such to get this place fixed up. Steven, I know that you wanted to have Hart do some plant growth in some areas. Where are you gonna do that?
So I wanted to go. How big would you say is Lonelywood?
There is a map that can tell you exactly how big Lonelywood is.
It's pinned in the chat.
It is, and we'll show you.
Large town.
Kuori's cabin is a little bit off of the map. Sort of along the road heading towards Tourmaline in the east way. But like sort of more into the trees.
Okay.
It says it's a small town, so it's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Satan, are you looking at your doc with the tell me what the population is of Lonelywood.
I will tell you in a second.
Because that's a pretty good indicator of how big the place is.
I
myself need to look at a map, and I'm all like, oh, that's how big it is.
Let me get to Lonelywood. Lonelywood. It is a population of 100, so a very small town.
Okay. Because if I focus on plant growth, it is a half-mile radius centered on the point within range. So Hart would probably spend some time trying to figure out like where the like widest range that he could get for this is.
Understood. And I know that you said in chat to me specifically that you're trying to clear snow. Plant growth isn't necessarily going to clear snow. It will, however, make the plants more prolific. So the plants that are already in the snow will sort of push up and become like bigger and stronger.
Yeah.
Any like trees that were starting to like fall down. Like this is a lumber town, so like making it more productive is going to be good for it in the long run anyhow. And I'll even say that there are like some berry bushes like around the around Kuori's cabin that become like laden with fruits and much bigger and such. I imagine that the entire Huddle family like comes down and like picks all of those berries, and then they're like bring over muffins later.
Yeah. So Hart is going to, I feel like this is the good place for it. He's going to take out the small acorn from the oak tree that they got, and he's going to plant it in the center place, and then he's going to cast plant growth and focus on that 8 hours to see about making that oak tree that came from the Sylvanas acorn grow
Where are
But
you going to plant that acorn then?
Acorn would be at the center of the half-mile radius. So if he's doing it basically like in the center
Okay.
of town.
Sure. Sure. Okay. So like it would be a little bit further into the woods so that that radius would like basically be right at the edge of where the coast is, looking at the map. And then it would also like affect all of the woods going in that direction as well.
Yeah.
So Hart goes off into the woods for the night, basically, with that acorn. And then the next morning, when you guys wake up, you can see that there is one deciduous oak tree that is much larger and like kind of towering over the rest of the trees in the forest. And it's a different kind of tree than what is normally in this forest to begin with. And you can see that it is like absolutely just bustling with life. It's got the spring green in its leaves, and there are like tons, and it just like laden with acorns. The squirrels are just having a field day, and like go looking for Hart, and he's just like standing in the middle of a clearing that is now shaded by the branches of this tree, and just kind of surrounded by a plethora of animals. There are some deer, some badgers, squirrels, and hares and rabbits, all just kind of meandering about the tree. You're sort of reminded of the time when you met Ravison, and they were staying in that that elven tomb, all that time ago. Like it's very reminiscent of that. However, Hart, already you can see that the tree isn't going to agree with the cold. It's already like starting to like seize up and go into the sleep of winter.
Yeah. Hart is going to collect 5 of the acorns from this tree, just to keep on his inventory. But all plant life now, since he spent 8 hours on this, will thrive for the next year. So it seems pretty useful, all things considered. And then, like, when he's not busy helping Kuori and Lydia, I got Speak with Animals as a ritual. Like, I'm just gonna hang out around here.
All right. So Hart is basically like giving the woods and nature around here a massive booster shot. Kuori is working hard on getting the armor and the paperwork for all of the property that she has in Lonelywood situated and settled. What is Lydia doing? Is she? I imagine she's probably helping with the paperwork as well.
Oh yeah, Lydia puts like she'll do the full like secretary thing where she'll just put all of the paperwork on the table, and she'll put on her glasses and get her little typewriting calculator and just start going at it. And she's got like one of those little like green visors, the green clear visors that people always wear in like money laundering schemes.
Of course.
I mean,
or when dealing blackjack.
Yes, exactly. And then one of the things that Lydia wanted to do in her spare time is she wants to take her tinkering tools, which I have no much proficiency in, and she wants to take Hart's bell that is on his antlers, and what she's going to do is she's going to open it and come up with a contraption where if Hart clicks a button on the bell, a little magnet makes it so that the ringing part of the bell sticks to it, so he can go stealth mode if need be, for when we need to be sneaky. And then she's gonna get some paints and paint some snowflake designs on the bell before giving it back to Hart. And she'll explain how to like use the button. Like if we need to be quiet, just click this button, and then the bell won't jingle while you walk.
He is fascinated by this.
That's really smart.
I feel like it'll just become like a fidget,
yeah.
a fidget toy where he's clicking the button
Just
on
nervous clicking, but really he's just hitting a bell that only rings half the time.
Yeah, like click, ring, 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 click, click, ring, 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 click.
So she wants to make that, and then she will also spend time in the evenings, where once Kuori has settled on a name for the inn, she will be in secret wood burning a sign, like a big sign to hang over the inn. And there's going to be within the sign a little pair of antlers and an anvil and a feather hidden, with a little sign that hangs from it that just says "coming soon," and then it's going to say "founded by 3 friends who became family."
So sweet. All right. I imagine that the armor comes together before the inn really does. So what does the armor look like when it finally is finished?
Well, Kuori was the one making it, yeah.
Yeah. So I have an idea. Let me make sure I get my colors right, because okay, so you know how a boulet is kind of this gray, kind of blue color. So she wants to keep that gray color, and taking reference from the anatomy of the boulet that she remembers. They're gonna make it so Lydia looks like a complete badass. So like the pauldrons have like these natural spikes, that like spiked ends that come off like the beak of the belated and the little layers of the carapace. And it's gonna contain that gray, but it has like this kind of like frosty pearlescent quality to it that doesn't add too much, but it's a nice kind of like hint. And then in the chest, it has the Chardlin black feather, and she's going to add inside, it's a little maker's mark, and it is a anvil with broken metal over it, because she's Kuori Metal Breaker. It's like right where a tag would be. And her little like hand armor has like little like the spiky like claw like nails. She can bitch slap someone.
Nice.
It's like, I know you're cute, but you're also fierce, so here you go.
I love it so much. Thank you, Kuori. And Lydia will take some time. Like, she'll put the armor on immediately, and then she'll like, a normal person would ask for help, but Lydia will not. So she has her normal white fur that she wears over her shoulders that clasps in the middle. She puts it on gently over the armor and starts like trying to mark where the spikes are so she can cut out holes for the spikes. So she's just kind of like reaching around and drawing, and then she will sew it so that her fur coat still sits over the armor with the spikes sticking out, and then the raven symbol clasp around her neck, and then the feather on the armor.
You got it. You know how to put on armor.
I do. Danae, officially it's a breastplate, correct? That's what we decided on.
You know what? I actually made this armor. And completely forgot to give it to you. Hold on. Stand by.
Standing by.
I share this account with my husband. I don't even remember what I called it. I will find it for you.
Excellent.
It is a magic item. Yeah. Armor of Retaliation is what I called it.
Ooh. So I can just search for that?
You know what, Steven? I have never made a magic item for someone before. I have the item made. I don't know how to add it to her character sheet.
I found it.
That's how.
Huzzah!
Yeah.
Normally, for adding things to character sheet, I just go in as the DM, and I'm like, it's easier if I just find it and equip this shit for them.
Gotcha. Okay.
For the most part.
And hence I never learned. But the description on this says, forged from the chitin of a boule, slain in righteous anger, and imbued with Chardolin, blessed by the Raven Queen, this armor retaliates against the foes that dare raise their weapons against you.
So for viewers at home, it acts a little bit like Armor of Agathis, but with radiant damage. Additionally, your girl's armor class is now 17, baby!
Ooh.
Nice.
Blah, 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 blah.
Try to hit me now, bitches!
It's closer to Hellish Rebuke than it is to Armor of Agathis.
True.
Yeah.
True.
But it does do what we wanted, basically. Yes. So that's what Lydia's armor looks like. What does Kuori's adamantine armor wind up looking like?
What does adamantine does? What does chainmail look like?
Chainmail is kind of like
Because it's just like the chainmail shirt type, right? It's not like a full-on armor.
Yeah. Typically, I find that as somebody who gets paid to draw people's characters all the time, a chain shirt typically is just like a shirt made of chain that goes over the top of things, and then like chain mail, I tend to like include more chain throughout the body. Like I feel like it's kind of the same thing, not necessarily though.
Yeah.
I say that chain mail is basically just more like maybe there's a hood on it, or maybe there's like it goes further down the arms. Maybe
it's like a metal kigurumi.
Yeah.
Essentially,
yeah. It's I was trying to get away from the word pajamas, but it's really close.
Yeah. So she treated the metal so that it is this blue tone. So it's not just the regular mail, it is a frosty blue.
What's really cool about that is that like the process of that would be like electrolyzing the metal. So like you'd like put it into like some water with like a particular solution in it, and then like you'd run a current through it, and then it would all like magnetize to the metal immediately.
At one point, you just see Kuori turning this electric machine, trying to make electricity. But it has this blue sheen to it. And they have like given it a few leather straps to kind of decorate it. I kind of had this kind of like idea. I'll put it in our chat. Sans the pauldrons. But it's a more fitted chain shirt with strips of leather. It would be white leather. It does have a hood that's made out of that same leather that's attached to the chain mail, and it is lined with the white fur as well. But once you pull up the hood, there is kind of like a mouthpiece attached, so you can cover the bottom of your face for practicality.
I like that.
And then just her own regular clothing that they used to wear with their chainmail.
Right. So like it's like you sorry, my brain went immediately to cosplay. It's like instead of like sewing the entire garment yourself, you like bought the garment and then altered it for your purposes.
Basically.
Yeah.
Because I think with the time it would have taken, with everything that's going down, they would have bought like part of a garment, maybe even two small ones if they didn't have like a Goliath size, and kind of put it together themselves to what they wanted it to look like.
I love it. Awesome. Okay. So Hart's doing nature shit. Lydia and Kuori getting their armor sorted and the property sorted. At some point during this time passing, there is a urgent knock at your door, and it is much later than it would be then. It is later in the day than like you would be expecting company or visitors or such.
Opens the door.
You open the door. You find Nimsy Huddle there, and she is kind of standing in front of 4 axe beaks that are like nervously pawing at the ground, and she says, I hate to knock on your door so late in the evening,
Right.
but we need to go."
Oh, why? What's wrong?
Well, you see, there has been a urgent letter, an urgent missive, and she hands you a very official looking letter. It's like in filigree, and it's got the crest of Bryn Shandar on it. And she explains to you that you've been formally invited to attend the Council of Speakers for an urgent meeting.
Okay. Sure. Come in while we get ready. I don't want you standing out in the cold. Hey, Hart, Lydia, we got to go.
What do you mean?
She'll put the letter out and just say, "We have been formally invited to attend an emergency speakers meeting. Speaker council meeting? I'm not sure."
She nods. Well, you see, the Speaker of East Haven suggested to bring you guys along. And they were going to send a letter to you, but they figured that it would be quicker just to get me to come and get you.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'll go get packed up and ready, and you see Lydia sort of walk off into the little room. That I imagine in the like few weeks that we've been here, we've kind of converted Kuori's room into a room that we all share. So there's a little. So there's Kuori's bed, and then there's a gnome-sized bed that just slides under Kuori's bed when not in use to save room.
Is there like Kuori's bed, Hart's bed, and then Lydia's bed, and they just slide in and out?
You say Hart's bed like he has a full one. Like he probably just like either sleeps at the foot of yours or
That's fair.
Like in a nice comfy chair.
Yeah, like if you just gave him a beanbag, he'd be happy.
A beanbag chair in the corner for Hart is perfect.
That's perfect.
But Lydia will gather her things, and you see her walk out for the first time in her like full travel gear and new armor, and she just stands there very heroically. All right.
Yes.
We
look
must
amazing.
Go. Thank you.
Yes.
My compliments to the
Smith,
yes. I was gonna say metal chef, so
I mean, you're not wrong, but
Smith kisses.
yes.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
just soot on your face afterward.
Yeah, it's just natural black lipstick. It's fine.
Probably not super healthy, but like, meh.
No, it's fine.
You know, it's fine.
It's like when you go to kiss somebody and like leave like a little like lipstick mark on their face. Instead, you come away with soot on your lips.
Yeah. Kuori will get into their armor and make sure that everything's packed. She looks at the axe beak and then looks at herself and then looks at the axe beak and then looks at herself and she's like,
The axe beak's gonna handle you just fine. Don't worry about it.
I got an extra large chunky boy.
Well, no, listen. Axe beaks are not. I think you're imagining like an ostrich or something.
I don't know how big.
You really shouldn't. They're more like dinosaurs than anything else.
I just imagine chocobos.
Yes,
yeah, kind of.
Okay.
You have to it specifically says that each axe beak has a carry weight capacity equivalent to a mule, which has a pretty crazy carry weight capacity.
Okay. I see you, Axbeak. I see you.
You look
they
at this thing.
They are large beasts, so
exactly. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay, here we go, buddy. But can I just say, for the fun of it, I got an extra large chunky boy.
Yes, you can.
Can
you can ride the biggest axe beak they
extra
have.
large chunky boy with fries on the side.
Well, you speak with animals and find out its a name. It's Deadlift.
Hell yeah! Oh my goodness.
I
like
basket.
that one. I got Deadlift.
Deadlift has iridescent black feathers on every part of its body, and it's kind of like a silky chicken, where like its skin is also like that dark, kind of odd black color.
It's one of those like black chickens that are just black everywhere, and then on the inside.
Yes, on every part of its body except for right on its face. It just kind of has this splotchy white bit right where its beak is, so that it looks kind of like a skull.
Oh, aren't you so beautiful? Yes, you are. It's just like petting this thing. I want to keep this one. This one's mine.
You've discovered my weakness describing people's mounts. I'm being distracted from the plot.
This is plot.
Yeah.
So, my goodness. All right.
I'll buy this axe beak. It is mine now.
Nimsy is like kind of standing by the door with the nervous energy of a mother who needs to get six children out the door right now.
Oh, we're coming. Yeah, we got our lunches, our jackets, everything.
Did everybody go to the bathroom before we go? We're not stopping in 5 minutes because you need to.
Just slow turn to Hart.
Yeah. Lydia's saying it to everyone, but really only saying it to Hart.
Oh yeah, no, Hart's fine. He doesn't have to go. He will 20 minutes in, but he doesn't have to go right now.
We know. Lydia will probably just share an axe beak with Hart if Hart doesn't mind some extra company on basket, because it just makes the most sense. I'm small.
Yep. All right. So Nimsy kind of like clicks at her axe beak, who puts its head down sort of sideways to like give her a lift up with like the axe part of its face, just basically like thump, like pushes that halfling up onto its back. And she like spins it in a little circle and says, "Are we ready to go?"
Aye, Captain.
Yes, we're ready to go.
All right, and then yeah, and then all the axe beaks go and like rush off.
They make jerky noises.
That's their running noise. Like their friendly noise is more like peacocks, like "Arrah, arrah." Anyway, they go. And I think that's the best place for us to go on break.
Yeah.
Excellent. So we're going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. So don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. Pick yourself up something nice. And we'll see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon. Bye. It's party time. Hello, everybody. We have returned with an immediate summons to return to Bryn Shandar, heralded by our speaker. Yeah. That's who sent us there.
Nimsy Huddle.
I knew it. I was paying attention. Wings, take us away.
All right. You ride hard through the night and make your way very quickly to Bryn Shandar. You arrive before the sun rises. The sun never rises very high in Icewind Dale, but you do arrive still in the dark of night. When you roll up to the city, Nimsy like basically holds up a sigil of some sort to the guards at the gate, and they push the doors, or the heavy doors of the gate open, which are normally shut at this time of night. They let you in, and Nimsy explains to you that the actual how do you call it? The actual meeting will occur on the morrow, basically in the morning. You'll have a little bit of time to basically do any shopping or anything that you want to do in Bryn Shandar. But they will essentially send for you when they are ready for you. And otherwise, they have a room for you at the local inn.
We'll just settle up at the local inn.
Yep. And she heads off to the town hall to get ready for the meeting. And you guys have basically enough time to kind of collapse into bed and get a little bit of shut-eye in the few short hours before morning.
I only need 4 anyways.
I need all 8. I need all the hours to rest my muscles.
That being said,
Me too.
as far as D&D Beyond goes, everybody can go ahead and have a long rest, since it has officially been weeks since we last had a combat.
Yes, long rest.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to note again, because I wasn't here last week, but the end of the episode previous, we all leveled up, and Hart and Lydia have the same HP again.
We've had it the whole time.
The whole campaign to roll plus our Constitution equal the same HP. The whole game has been just Smith kisses.
Smith keys.
Smith keys. All right. So the night passes uneventfully. There is a general sense of unease in Bryn Shandar. Do you know? Oh, for folks who live in more southern states, it's like that feeling right before a hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
Or for the folks who live in more northern states, it's like the feeling right before a big snowstorm, where everybody's kind of out on the streets, like, gotta get the milk and the bread, like getting ready to like hunker down for something big, or like, big long lines at the gas stations. There's just kind of a general sense of dread and preparation. People kind of bustling about the cities, rushing to stores, and trying to get all of their essentials before rushing back into their homes to hunker down. Is there anything that you wanted to grab in Bryn Shandar?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I have a few items that I was gonna pick up for Hart. So we have 1,000 GP in gemmies.
Yeah, each person was given 1,000.
And then I have a question for the DM for the price of Nature's Mantle, which is a wondrous item that requires attunement by a druid or a ranger. It's from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, and it is uncommon, but there is no price listed for it in the magic item pricing guide.
Okay, at all or in any of the other?
It says for sane price there's nothing. For the DMPG price there's nothing, but generally it goes for anywhere between 101 to 500.
Okay. I'm going to say. Tell me what it does.
It shifts color and texture to blend with the terrain surrounding you. While wearing this cloak, you can use it as a spellcasting focus for your druid and ranger spells. And then while you are in an area that is lightly obscured, you can hide as a bonus action even if you are being directly observed.
Oh, okay. That's also something that you just have as a wood elf, basically.
Oh, yeah, never mind then. I don't need that one. Forget it.
Well, I mean, like as far as hiding goes, like that's it. I mean, like everything else is still pretty good.
Yeah. But at the same time, like I have a staff. It's not like I'm trying to get around the staff. Having it as a cloak is better for a ranger who's using a bow.
Granted, I will say the wood elf stuff would only work if you were in a natural environment. In a unnatural environment, I'd say this cloak would also work.
Either way, not really that important because I think I'm like unless it's like less than 200, which I'm not really sure it would be.
I would price it like let's say 150.
Okay, I can do 150.
I'm haggling. This is Wings haggling with Steven here, just because of like how the usefulness to you. Like I'm willing to give it for 150.
Okay. Then the other things, I feel are from the same guy. Like Hart is going by Magic Item Shop after splitting off from the rest of the group because it's funnier if he comes back with these things, and no one was around to stop him. A staff of bird calls.
Aww.
Where he can just like make bird sounds with his staff.
I love that.
And then I feel like the guy who's buying this just like, I see that this is clearly somebody who will buy the most useless of things. Young boy, you with the antlers, did you know that there is an item that once purchased can hold a multitude of useful items? And Hart's eyes get really big and just, oh my God, is there? Yes, it is a robe that you can wear. And I would like to purchase the robe of useful items for Hart.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Absolutely.
So we picked up 2 extra layers to wear around and then a staff that makes bird calls.
I mean, he needs it.
And then
Boy's cold.
Boy is cold. And then the last thing, because that would be... Yeah, he'll have like 40 gold left over from this. 1 diamond worth 300 gold pieces.
Okay.
I'm trying to find it to see if I can afford it. It doesn't give me a price. But in the DMG it does. Kuori's gonna get tatted up.
Okay.
If possible.
Okay.
If you are okay with magical tattoos.
I am okay with magical tattoos. What specifically are we looking for?
The Eldritch Claw tattoo.
Ooh.
So the Eldritch Claw tattoo, what it does, while wearing the tattoo on your skin, you can, as an action, use the tattoo. Oh wait, this is the wrong one. Give me a second. Here we go. While the tattoo is on your skin, your unarmed strikes are considered magical for the purpose of overcoming immunity and resistances to non-magical attacks. And I get a +1 bonus attack to damage rolls with unarmed strikes. So that's when I'm punching people. Mm-hmm. But it has Eldritch Maul, which as a bonus action, I can empower the tattoo for 1 minute. For the duration, each of my melee attacks made with a weapon or an unarmed strike can reach a target up to 15 feet away, as inky tendrils launch towards the target. In addition, your melee attacks deal an extra 1d6 force damage on a hit. And I can't use it again until the next dawn once it's done.
What is the tattoo going to be of?
Honestly, I think it's going to be kind of abstract because I'm thinking it's going to kind of blend in with her own skin markings, but different than when her skin markings, they flow a bit, but they're more, they don't have like swirls or anything. This one is. It's going to kind of swirl over her arm.
So it's more abstract.
Yeah, it's more abstract. I don't think it'll be anything like solid. I think it'll definitely kind of like take on a very magical quality where it might look like it's moving every so often.
All right. Yes. It's a short rest to attune to, right?
I will.
Attuning takes a short rest, right, Steven?
Yes. Also,
yeah, I believe so.
Wings, when you get the chance, I need you to roll some dice for me.
Is it for the
number of patches. I need 4d4.
Gotcha. Okay, I can do that right now. In fact, I have Roll20 up right now. I can do that. 44?
Yes.
That's going to be 9.
Yes, I get 9 extra patches.
Nice.
Have fun.
I will.
Okay, so as for Kuori, the description on as written on how tattoos work is basically a needle is held at the place where you're going to have the tattoo for the time it takes to attune. I want to say that the way that this occurs is that you go to a little hole in the wall place where you know that there is a magic tattoo artist available. They have a shaved head, and like every inch of their body is covered in tattoos. There are dragons and sea monsters and various predatory beasts just coating their skin. What they have available to you are these various boxes with glass lids and pillowed insides, and they basically go to like shelves with all these boxes on there, and you describe to them the sort of like magical effects that you're looking for. They kind of go tutting over to their boxes. This person doesn't wear a whole lot of clothing, and therefore like stays inside with a roaring fire to try and keep warm. Otherwise, they like have to cover all up. But they like to show off their tats, so they sort of stay inside where it's warm.
I feel that, dude.
So this person goes and peruses all of their different boxes. Now, these boxes with the pillowed insides, each one has just rows of daintily placed needles, just about like a finger's length long. This person plucks out a needle, describes to you what it will do, and also says that this can be removed at any time, and like walks you through the process, gives basically like has you sign a form and stuff, like explains everything to you, and then
I just wanted to interject and say that Lydia has tagged along with Kuori for both moral support and also because Lydia would like to get a tattoo.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah.
A magical one or just
it's a magical one if possible.
Oh boy. Okay, all right.
I don't know if you're gonna have the same words are
which
that I forgot.
I zoned out a little bit because I was reading the tattoo that I want. Which one did you end up going with?
Eldritch Claw.
No, I'm doing a different one.
It'd be cool to get matching tattoos, but it says half a limb. So you know what Kuori's gonna do? They're going to do that like half sleeve with part of like the chest tattoo.
Nice. I like it. What is Lydia getting?
Lydia would like to get the ghost step tattoo.
Ooh.
Ah, that's a good one. Okay.
So it says 501 to 5,000 on the pricing guide.
So on the rarity.
It is just rare.
Rare. Okay. I'm gonna say that this is gonna be closer to the 5,000 range. Give me a persuasion check.
I'm very persuasive. Can I guide myself?
Yes, you can.
Can I help because I also got a tattoo?
Yeah, can we get like a 2 for? Can we get a deal?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. Oh, that's even and more not bad. So 17 plus 3 plus 4, so that's 24.
All right, now tell me what the range was for each of your tattoos.
Mine is 101 to 500, and it is uncommon. It's not rare or anything.
Mine's 500 to 5,000.
Okay.
It'd be really cool if I could get it.
All right. Oh, I see. I know the math that I want to do to work this out. I'm gonna say that you are able to negotiate it down to closer to 4,000 for both of them.
Okay.
But that's for the both of them.
The ghost step is very rare, though.
Is
Well,
it
it's just rare. It's just rare. On the thing, it says rare.
Because in D&D Beyond, it says very rare, though.
I was going by the Excel spreadsheet.
Okay.
Let's see. Well, see, that's the other thing, is that the tattoos had some changes here and there. It does say very rare. I'm willing to hand wave it. I'm not too concerned about it.
Thank you. So quick metagaming here. I would have to use 2,000 of the party funds. I'll put in 2,000 of my own, but then for Kuori and I's remainder of our tattoo, I would have to use 2,000 of the party funds.
Hart has no concept of money. Use as much as you want.
I have right now 700 and something gold.
Well, I'd like for you to keep your money.
Okay, how much do we have in the party fund, you said?
5.3.
5.3.
So we'd be at 3.3. We'd be at 3.3 because I have 2,000.
Okay, I mean, I'm fine with that. But okay. I can put. It's not a lot of money she can put in, but they can put in some money.
No. As long as I've got okay to use the party fund, we still have 3.3. Yeah. But then you can keep your money. I got your tattoo. It's fine.
Thanks.
But so what Lydia's gonna get is on the back of her calves, she's gonna get 2 wings, one on each calf. So when she stands together, she can it looks like a set of wings.
I like it. Okay. So basically it becomes clear that Lydia is also going to get a tattoo. And so this person will call in their assistant, who is similarly lacking in clothing, but doesn't have quite as many tattoos covering their body. The assistant is going to work on Kuori, and the master will work on Lydia, considering that this is a more difficult tattoo. They each get their needles, and you can see that like portions of their own tattoos start to glow as they sort of infuse these needles with magic. And then basically what they have to do is very smoothly and slowly push these needles into your flesh over the course of an hour.
That's pretty fucking quick for a tattoo.
Yeah.
It is.
But they're masters at this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kuori just goes to sleep.
And as they do so, like the tattoo is like very slowly kind of magically appearing on your skin. You are able to pull this off fairly quickly. Hart, you eventually come back with like all kinds of bullshit. And Kuori and Lydia are unable to react because they are trapped in the tattoo chairs. And
I love it too because of where Lydia's getting hers. She's gonna have to like be face down on one of those chairs so it has like a hole cut out for your face. And I just feel like Hart would like lean down and just be like, "Hi, Lydia, how's it going?"
He just like kind of like he would squat down, and then would definitely say like, "Look at this cool thing that I got," and then like he like taps it on the ground, and like you can see that it looks. To the untrained eye, it looks almost identical to his previous staff. And now he has also like adorned it with a bunch of stuff again. But when he taps it down, it's going to be a raven's caw.
Aww. I love it, Hart.
That's really cool.
And then for Kuori, he's going to say, and if I want to get either of your attention, but like we can't be in a place where like we can speak with words, I can tap it for the raven one, or in your case, Kuori, he taps it and it will be a owl's hoot.
Oh, I love it.
Although he is willing to reconsider, or this one, and it's an eagle shriek. So which one do you think Kuori would prefer? Or like, no, that's more of a pigeon. Like
Yeah.
a.
I have to be
What about an
biased.
owl's shriek?
Dude, those fuckers sound terrifying.
Yeah, I'll go with the owl. I'll go with the owl. Yeah,
Okay.
I like the owl. Corey's just like sitting there, like half shirtless.
Nice. About the time that you guys are up and examining your new tattoos, there is the sound of armor kind of clattering about the door. You can see that there are several town guards standing outside, and someone walks in, silhouettes the door. It's a bald-headed man with dark skin and a prodigious goatee that is streaked with a little bit of gray. He introduces himself as Sheriff Markham Southwell. He is the head of the guard in Bryn Shandar, and you have been summoned to the council chambers.
Of course, Sheriff. And like Lydia's getting like the second skin wrap on her legs. She's like, as soon as we're done here, we'll be on our way.
It's a very important thing to do. Unless you want me to go half shirtless to the meeting, which I don't think you do.
He says that no, he is willing to wait for as much time as that takes, though you may be a bit late to the meeting. He looks the other way and allows you all to get situated.
Oh.
And
Hart could go with while they finish up with the tattoos.
Oh, that sounds like a great idea.
Oh, no. No, Hart, don't split the party.
Markham will actually leave some guards to escort Kuori and Lydia, and will take Hart to the council chambers. Hart, the council chambers are in the town hall, which is sort of towards the southern end of town. It seems that like this town is one of those places that like started pretty small and then just sort of started ballooning outwards. So town hall isn't necessarily very centralized, just on account of the way that this place tended to like grow. The older part of town like wasn't necessarily planned to be where it is, but here it is.
Yeah.
You go into the building. It's a fairly large wooden structure that is sort of rectangular, but with like very steep roofs that just sort of let the snow slide right off once it gets heavy enough. You are brought into the town hall, which is just sort of kind of like one of those one-room longhouses. You can see that there is an enormous roaring fire pit in the center with about 3 long tables, one at sort of the head of the fire pit, and you can see that there is a woman with important looking robes and furs on, fairly young, with brunette hair. And you can also see similarly there are more important looking people getting situated at the tables alongside the fire pits. Meanwhile, there are a few like benches and such behind the tables that are set up for what appears to be more like important names amongst the towns, people who aren't necessarily a part of the council but would have an ear in the room, essentially. People who are important enough to like listen in on what's going on, or maybe even be called up to like have like to give some input on their perspective of any sort of situation. These benches are actually quite packed, and there are a few spots that have been reserved for Hart, Kuori, and Lydia. You can see that those spots are actually very close to where Daneth Whalen, the Speaker of East Haven, is seated. There is a brief, there is, I feel like a lot of this goes over Hart's head.
Oh, yeah.
As Duvessa Shane, the speaker of Bryn Shandar at the head of the room, stands up, sort of introduces herself, and basically goes through the rigmarole of starting a council meeting. There is a lot of very flowery language. You can see that there are 10 seats at these tables in total, and 3 of them are just completely empty.
Oh, that's probably one for me then.
Hart takes a step forward, and the sheriff just kind of puts a hand on his shoulder and pulls him back gently, this is where you sit, and just kind of plops you down in one of the reserved seats. At about this time, all of the pleasantries are being exchanged, and all of the rigmarole is getting taken care of. You can see that in front of each one of the seats at the tables where the council speakers sit, the crest of their town is actually displayed, just sort of hanging off as a tabard off the end of the table in front of them. Present here are a group of mostly humans. You can see that there is a few people that you recognize. Among them are Daneth Whalen, who is the speaker of East Haven. You recognize Trovis, the Silver Dragonborn, who is the speaker of Caer Konig. He seems to have sobered up, if a little bit for this, but he does sway just a little bit every now and then. It seems that he hasn't quite gotten completely off of the bottle. You can see that he actually, the majority of the people who are missing are around him, so there's just a lot of empty chairs around him. The people who are missing are the speaker from Dugan's Hole, Edgra Dermot. Evidently she declined to come to this meeting. The speaker from Goodmead is not here on account of the fact that he died recently, and they're still working out the elections to figure out who's going to be the new speaker. And the speaker from Caer Dineval is not here on account of the fact that he's still sick, evidently, after months. The people who are here are Trovis, Daneth Whalen. You would also recognize Nimsy Huddle of Lonelywood. And when Lydia and Kuori finally file in and are ushered to their seats, Lydia, you recognize the speaker of Tourmaline, whose name is Oris Masthew. That is Oarus. Oris Masthew, and he is a half orc. He kind of has a, how should I say it, controversial speakerhood. There are some people who like him a lot, and there are some people who don't like him at all. He was adopted by the previous speaker and just kind of barely squeaked in, but you know him to be a fairly nice guy.
Lydia will give a little salute as she walks in, specifically to him.
He gives you kind of a nervous wave. He's fairly new in the political game.
Baby.
He's doing his best. You see the fella who is in charge of Targos. He has his sheriff standing behind him, sort of like a bodyguard. His sheriff is a big, tough-looking tiefling man with long, twisting horns and big muscles. Nobody else really seems to have brought their sheriff along, except for him. He's got kind of a cunning look about him. His name is Nerth Maxel Dinar.
Dinar? Hooray.
Yes, with 2 R's.
2 A's. Close.
2 R's. Maxel Dinar. There is a dwarf who is the fella in charge of Bremen, which is the place that you guys met Friend out on the lake. The dwarf kind of has this like he's very elderly, and he's got this kind of like far away look in his eyes. He's just sort of staring off into the distance. A lot of people sort of accept that as like, he's lost in thought, so wise. But like every now and then you hear a little bit of snoring coming from his direction. Somebody kind of has to elbow him to get him back to the present. I think that's everybody super important. Yes. Okay. All of those
I apologize
people are gone
in
for
advance
those reasons.
if I have to ask you who's who.
That is completely fine. There is a lot of people to keep track of here, and that's even after all of the people who are not here. So, Nimsy Huddle of Lonelywood, Shale Scar of Bremen, Oris Masthew of Tourmaline, Nerth Maxel Dinar of Targos, Duvessa Shane of Bryn Shandar, Daneth Whalen of East Haven, and Trovis of Caer Konig. These are all of the people who are here, as well as you all. So Duvessa Shane finishes introducing everybody and explaining why all of the people who aren't here are not here. And then she calls up Daneth Whalen to explain why this emergency meeting was called. Daneth sort of steps up, and you can see, like, he usually looks like a guy who hasn't had a lot of sleep. The circles under his eyes have deepened. The wrinkles in his face have likewise also deepened. He looks like he has not had a good time of it in the past few days. He comes up and gets out a piece of paper, and he starts sort of reading off of it. And eventually he just sort of like throws it down on the table and starts speaking from his heart. He explains that things are looking really bad in terms of the duergar threat. They've been working tirelessly, trying to interrogate their prisoner to figure out exactly when the threat is going to arrive. And they have not been able to put together a time frame, but they get the feeling that it is very soon. What they are concerned about is the fact that this king of the duergar is set on ruling the surface. He has seen an opportunity in the sun not rising over the mountains in Icewind Dale, and that his plan is to raise Tentowns to the ground. And there's like he like takes a moment to let everybody kind of absorb that. And he says that there is going to be no negotiations here. The intent is to wipe us out and replace us on the surface.
Just to be clear, this was the duergar my father was in charge of interrogating, correct?
Correct.
In the jar.
The one that your brother caught in a jar, yes.
The Duergar King is Zardrock Sunblight.
That is his name, yes.
Bless you for taking notes.
It was when we were talking to Heffel, the seer of an old woman with a crabapple bad attitude.
Exactly. Daneth Whalen says that his recommendation is that we strike early and we strike fast before they have any chance to finish whatever preparations that they're making. He explains the situation with the Dark Duchess and how the group of adventurers that he sent handled that. And he says that they should be in charge of the initial assault.
Oh God,
Is Hart
they're
the
giving
only
us
one there
authority.
right now?
We've caught up by now. I think that especially Lydia knowing that Hart is going on ahead, all of a sudden she starts moving a lot faster than when it was just a sheriff waiting for her. So
there's a little bit of discussion as to whether or not there should be like time to prepare an army to send them down there, and Daneth says that there's no time, that their only chance is to have an elite team go in and take out the furnace.
Do we know where the furnace is?
It's in the spine of the world.
He like points at Kuori and Hart and just kind of like taps on his nose. He has an assistant come out and like pull out a map, and he like pulls out like a pointer and starts like directing people to look at certain parts of the spine of the world. He says, we've been able to narrow it down to this place around here. The Sunblight Fortress is most likely to be in this area. Our information or our intelligence has been able to confirm that there is a forge powered by the heart of a red dragon inside the fortress. And if we're able to take that out, then their entire operation is going to be hamstringed. That's essentially like what they need to do in order to prevent the army from being able to break free and rid the world of Tentowns.
Right. Great.
This is a lot to take in.
Yeah, Hart kind of like looks at his companions, and he says, "We've known that we were going to have to do something like this for a while now, ever since we talked to Hethel."
Lydia will just like kind of politely, just if you could give us but a moment to confer with the rest of my party as to what any suggestions that we may have or any points that we'd like to bring up. And Lydia will just like huddle, which is really funny because when she like rests one arm on Hart's shoulder and one arm on Kuori's, she is levitating off the ground at this point.
Amazing. As you step aside to speak privately, an argument kind of breaks out amongst the council. Nerth Maxel Dinar, the fellow with the buff-looking tiefling behind him, says that basically if he was in charge of interrogation, he would have had all of this information months ago, and starts kind of like starts pointing fingers at Daneth Whalen. Other people are saying that we need to wait and like basically turtle up and just wait for the assault to come and like repel them. Like we have enough people here and enough soldiers that if we're ready for them, we can take them essentially. And like they really can't agree on what they're going to do about this.
Politics.
So I'm sorry, you'll have to refresh my memory with your interactions with Hethel because that wasn't me. Is this on target with her prophecy?
So there was a series of dreams that I was having for a while that there was, it looked like a dwarf, and then there was an army, and then there was like a large beating glowing heart, and then it showed the Tentowns on fire.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what it was, but then when we met Hethel, she said that I had the powers of prophecy or something. I don't really know what that means, but that sometimes I was like tapping into the way that she was seeing things. And then she explained what the dream was, 'cause she was able to see past all of the like murky bits on the inside of that. But she had said that it was a red dragon's heart that they were using to fire the forge, like those guys were saying over there. and that they were using it to fuel their army, and that there was a king in a black crown and we would need to stop him. But I didn't know. It was more of a win as to a wondering why. He's a bad guy. That's reason enough. He wants to take over the surface. But, I mean, I wouldn't mind if he just, like, hung out. He doesn't have to try and take it by force. You guys have all been really nice.
Yes, but as if what I mentioned was true, he does not want to.
He doesn't want to just visit.
No, and he does not want to have any negotiations. He just wants to take over. So.
Some people only know how to take.
Wolves.
Of sorts, yeah.
Do we think we can do this just us? I mean, we're pretty badass, but there's only 3 of us.
But Kuori's as strong as an army.
I am
That's true.
pretty strong, that's true.
Kuori has 2 armies.
And Hart just was like, what are you doing?
But,
Hart.
I mean, we could gather some people that we might know, but it seems we're not trying to go up against an army. We're trying to go in and kill or get rid of this heart of the red dragon in the forge. Forge. That's got to be pretty hot shit.
Well, I could use a little break from the cold. So,
Sure.
okay. Let's listen to the rest of what they have to say. And if there is the fight still, like the argument still going on about what?
Essentially, yes. Like a lot of name calling has started occurring.
Kuori just opens the doors loudly to stop people from talking.
Well,
I mean, it becomes clear that there are rivalries between towns, and like the fighting has started to devolve into that.
Lydia is going to clasp her her raven's necklace, and suddenly she's got raven wings, and she is going to fly, but not like aggressively, like slowly lift off the ground to be level with whoever is saying her dad is doing a terrible job interrogating, and float up to about 4 inches from his face and just say, "Hi, yeah, we're the ones you're depending on to save all of us. And my father did the interrogating. So maybe just sit down and shush for a while, okay?" And then she's going to float back to above her chair and then lower herself back down into it.
The tiefling behind him, like his like hand goes for the sword at his side, and like he just sort of like raises a hand to him, and you can see him like squinting at you specifically, Lydia. Do you want to?
I wink.
Do you want to give me an insight check on that?
I do. I do get surface. I get surface level thoughts automatically.
Is the tiefling squinting at her, or is the dude squinting at her?
The speaker is squinting at her.
Insight +7. Okay.
Kuori's just squinting
Natural
at
20.
the tiefling.
Natural 20 +7.
He has a personal grudge against you.
Against me or my dad?
He specifically against you or someone who looks like you.
Doppeldia? Can I use my telepathy to get surface level thoughts?
Yes. Essentially it's she was supposed to be dead.
Is this one of the bitches that hired Doppeldia to kill me? Lydia makes a mental note of this and doesn't give anything away on her face, but still winks at both him and the sheriff as she floats back down to her chair, which she grips the arms of just a little tighter.
Yep. Didn't know that I was going to be going here tonight, but okay.
Oh,
all right. Fair enough.
You thought this was a downtime episode? It's exactly a downtime episode.
Oh,
Diplomacy!
someone's going to be going down
Oh my goodness. Okay. Is there anything that the group would like to contribute to the council itself, or are you going to basically just like wait it out and see where it goes?
I feel like if they're still kind of bickering between the towns and stuff, Kuori's just gonna like just slam a big fist on the table to get people to quiet down.
Mm-hmm. To try and get people to like focus on the matter at hand.
Yeah, and they'll just say, "Are you done bickering?"
Give me like either a persuasion or an intimidation.
Shit. Could this be intimidation based on my strength?
I'll allow it.
Okay. I'll roll a just regular strength check.
I like to imagine that Kuori like bangs her hand like a gavel on the on the wooden table, and it cracks.
11. I didn't do that well.
It cracks a little.
It cracks. Is it what? Yeah, it just cracks a little.
The table just wobbles now. Like
Yeah.
it didn't before. There's no crack.
I'm just
but
looking
like
for a loud noise.
Yeah, it came loose
I mean,
a little.
I mean, over 10 is average. So, like, you basically do quiet everybody down, and it gives Daneth Whalen an opportunity to interject and, like, bring the conversation back to where it's supposed to be, and less just kind of finger pointing about unrelated topics.
Mm-hmm. So...
now it seems that the topic has kind of turned to basically if they have decided, yes, we need to prepare for an eventual attack, but now they're arguing about whether or not that they should send in, you know, this elite team, because basically what if they fail, and like what if that prompts them to attack like immediately before they're ready, essentially.
Well, Kuori will kind of look. If that causes a premature attack, they will also be unprepared, but you are aware that it might happen. They are not aware.
We can try and be as stealthy as possible. It isn't one of our strong suits, but you know,
destroying a heart of a dragon could be our strong suit.
Yeah. Look, I think that we need to prepare the towns as much as possible. I think that making sure that food and everything is in order for everyone, that we have those who are willing and bodily able to help out protecting the towns doing so. And it'd be real nice to have a little bit of backup if they do decide to start piling out of the ground.
Well, we agree with you on that matter, Ms. Malion, says Duvessa Shane, who is the council leader and the speaker of Bryn Shandar. And she says, the matter in question is whether or not we endorse the preemptive strike.
We could go as a preemptive strike. You don't have to worry about getting us ready. We can get ourselves ready. And while we do that, you prepare your towns.
And she says, well, I'm afraid that is not your decision to make. And she looks at the rest of the council, and they all like start to like shuffle their papers, and it looks like they're all getting ready to do something. And Daneth Whalen kind of leans in, and he says, they're going to call a vote. They need to have a majority out of 10.
Lydia will stand up just before they go to call the vote, and I know that you all come from different towns with different needs, different populations, different everything. And I know that some of you may not have faith in me and my family. However, and she looks to the speakers from Lonelywood and Turlemaine. Should you not need us, please, by all means, send your sick and you're tired, your women and children to 2 towns that will be protected. Or we can all work together. Your choice. And then Lydia will sit back down.
All right. Give me a persuasion check.
Could give myself guidance.
As you're getting ready to do this, when Daneth Whalen explains that you're going to need a majority out of 10, basically that means that you're going to need 6 votes that say yes. There are 3 people who are not here. You can only have 1 vote against you.
Lovely. I rolled an 18.
It's pretty good. Duvessa Shane says all in favor of endorsing the preemptive strike on Zardarok's fortress, the Sunblight. And she raises a hand, and you can see Daneth Whalen's hand shoots up immediately. You can see Nimsy Huddle sort of puts up her hand as well, and Oris Mastew does as well. You can see Trovis very enthusiastically throw his clawed hand up in the air. You can see the fella from Targos, the one with the grudge against you, is crossing his arms and sort of leaning back in his chair and glaring at you. And there comes a moment where you realize that there are 5 hands up in the air. And there is one person who is not necessarily paying attention. It is Shale Scar from Bremen, the elderly dwarf who is just sort of staring off into the middle distance. You see Oris Mastew lean in and sort of jab him in the ribs and whisper in his ear. And you see him look over at you, Lydia, and he says, "You gonna put that duergar mess in the ground?"
I'm going to try.
Then hell yeah. And he sticks his hand up in the air. And like she says, that's a majority. All opposed. You see Nerth Maxel Dinar from Targos just sort of roll his eyes and says, "I abstain." And she bangs her gauntlet and says, "Then it's settled."
Lydia is feeling like very confident right now after this. And so when Mr. Fuzzy Pants over there says, "I abstain," she winks at him and blows him a kiss.
Oh, okay.
Hart saw other people raising his hand, or raising their hands, so his is... like he's just raising his as well.
Kuori just slowly puts his hand down.
And looking around the room during this vote, you realize just how many people in the room are people that you have helped out just during your travels through Tentowns. You are almost certain that this vote really wouldn't have gone your way unless you had done that much work on the upswing. There are a lot of people here who basically owe you.
They're gonna owe us even more when we stab that heart. Not our heart, but the dragon heart.
You know, the bad one.
The bad one. The one with the
Troll?
E.
Duvessa Shane begins to move the conversation on to other matters, as well as basically the nitty-gritty of how they're going to prepare for the attack. And Daneth Whalen sort of leans in and says, that was basically the most important part for you guys. You can head out if you can start getting ready for, like, to go. Like, I recommend that you get ready to go as soon as possible.
Lydia, still with all of the confidence of like a 15-year-old girl that just got asked to prom, stands back up and just says, "Council, one moment. I just have another proposition while we have you all here. We are going to be facing war. Life on the ice is already warlike enough. We know that Oral must have her sacrifices. And I propose that those sacrifices be the duergar we're about to kill, and we put a hold on the lottery and the other sacrifices to Oral, because we need our men and we need to keep our food and our warmth to survive this.
That causes an uproar. People are standing up. Everybody is talking over each other. People in the benches behind the table start to stand up and yell as well. Fucking Trovis starts trying to start a chant. Like, kill the dwarves! Kill the dwarves!
I love Trovis.
And like nobody is joining him on that one. And Duvessa Shane kind of shoots a look at you and says, that is an entirely different matter, and I would thank you to worry about that at another time. And she like starts banging her gavel, trying to get the council back under control. The Sheriff Markham starts to like usher you guys out of the council room. But
really,
I'm just
Lydia?
saying, we're gonna spill
Really?
blood in her honor, and maybe we should keep our people
Lydia,
to fight.
stop.
And it just,
Stop.
Okay,
Just
look,
take your wins. Pick your battles.
Try.
And boom, the heavy wooden doors of the council town hall begins to shut. You are left outside in a snowy, dread-filled town. You are given basically the rest of the day to prepare to leave. But as Daneth Whalen said, you should go as soon as possible.
As they're walking out, Lydia will just sort of say to Kuori, look, just leave a room louder than you found it. And I did that. And then she will immediately
there's different ways to take that to, Anywho.
I also needed it to be a little chaotic in there. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but the speaker that was being protected by that real ripped tiefling.
Yeah.
He's the one that sent Doppeldia to kill me.
Kuori just stops mid-step. I cannot kill him in front of everyone.
I know. I thought about it too.
I could probably take on that tiefling. I feel like I'm more ripped than they are.
It's true. You have many more muscles.
I do. I'm taller, so they're bigger.
No, look, I just wanted you to be aware. I know we've got bigger fish to fry. Well, much smaller fish to fry currently. But I just didn't mind that it got a little chaotic in there and he wasn't too happy.
We will deal with him.
Oh, yes, we will. And Lydia will crack her knuckles. She's very angry.
Let's go back to the inn and we'll stay there for now. I have something I need to do. But I don't want you guys out and about in town if that person is here.
On their way home, Lydia will stop at the nearest bakery and probably buy 10 gold worth of pastries for the trip to keep Hart and everyone happy.
Yay!
She'll get little hand pies, so little empanadas with apple filling, and then some fantasy Pop Tarts.
Hart will kill whoever you need him to for an empanada.
Oh my god!
He has never purposefully drawn blood from a body before, but he'd do it for an empanada.
He will now.
Once they make it back to the inn, is the inn kind of at the edge of town or in the middle?
It's towards the edge of town. When you get back to the inn, you find that there has been a few packages left for you. Basically, packed bags for a trip across the snow, climbing gear and rations and such. And it seems to be from Speaker Daneth Whalen. The innkeeper explains to you that this was basically delivered this morning. And you kind of get the idea that Daneth was going to give this to you regardless of whether the vote went his way or not.
Mm-hmm.
a feeling that Daneth kind of hoped, even if the vote did not go this way, that we would just go do it anyways.
Yeah, that's what Hart was thinking as well.
Kuori was ready to still go anyway.
Yeah.
Because we already saw where it was located.
I think that what Lydia will spend the evening doing and like resolving to take off at first light is probably the wise choice. Lydia, as confident as she felt in the speaker's hall, getting back to the room that has definitely shaken, and realizing that the man that tried to kill her and kill Lucas essentially by proxy is in the town. She is a little shaken. So within their room in the inn, she ritual casts Lydia's tiny hut for them to sleep in tonight. And she doesn't make it look like a snow bluff or anything. It's completely transparent and see-through. But it just means that nobody would be able to enter the dome unless she gave permission. So she'll hunker down in there since I have to stay in the dome. And I had a question. Is the dome soundproof? Like if we're talking in the dome, can people hear us outside the dome? I believe it's soundproof.
I believe it is.
It would say so in the spell.
Let me check.
Because it's kind of like a two-way mirror where you can see and hear the outside, but they can't see or hear you.
Spells. My tiny hut.
It looks like it doesn't have a cone of silence situation.
Yeah, it just says spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it. The atmosphere inside the space is comfortable and dry, regardless of weather outside.
Yep.
Until the spell ends, you can command the interior to become dimly lit or dark. The dome is opaque from the outside of any color you choose, but is transparent from the inside.
Yep.
Okay. I think that Lydia will just because Kuori, you said you were off doing something before, we hunkered down, right?
Wait, what?
You said you needed to do something before we slept for the night? Okay. So Lydia will just kind of ask Hart for the room for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And she will take about 5 to 10 minutes and this might not be smart, but whatever. She's going to burn her 3 third-level spells to send messages to Lucas, to her mom, and to her dad. And for her dad, she's very not emotional, and she just explains what she is wanting to do, and in the event of her death, she would like all of her possessions divided up amongst Lucas, Kuori, and Hart, except for her ravens thing. She wants her mom to have it. And then she explains to Lucas what she's doing, but in a very excited, lighthearted, Lucas could probably hear in her voice that she's actually quite scared, but she doesn't want to let that on type of way. And to her mom, she just says, I love you. Make sure to take care of Lucas, and if my friends are ever in town, they're family, so treat them that way. And she's just very shaken by realizing that the person that tried to kill her is so nearby, and they are going on a very big quest. So she is making sure all of her affairs are in order before doing so.
Your mother dotes on you for as much as 25 words will allow, and basically cuts off at the end of it. She dotes so much, but she basically says that she loves you and to be careful. Your dad is very businesslike. He leaves a lot of words at the end of his message, essentially letting you know that he'll make sure he'll take care of everything, and that he's proud of you. And your brother basically matches your energy, says that he's excited for you, that you're going to do great things. And there is a pause, and he tells you to be careful.
Lydia will just like tell Hart he can come in, and she'll just kind of curl up with all of her little knickknacks that remind her of Lucas and home and Kuori and Hart, and just there's a couple tears, but other than that, she's just gonna rest.
I was gonna say, I feel like when you tell Hart to make himself scarce, if there is a heated bath in town, Hart would love to get a nice, like, rose petally bath kind of thing. Like, just something to make him smell nice and feel
like
good.
one of those lavender milk baths.
Yeah. Like, Hart's fucking, like, he has not had a bath, like, a good solid bath, probably since you guys met him. Like, he is just like, ugh, like, just existing in warm water, and then, like, after he's done, he knocks on the door, Lydia, like, oh, you can come in now. Like, sweet deal. And he's just like, he is like a noodle person now. Like,
you smell so good, Hart.
I know. It's this is the best. Did you know that it only costs 3 gold to do this? Just 3. We have so many. I bought a diamond earlier. I could do this 100 times. And he's just, like, so relaxed. Like, he's normally, like, a big old ball of nerves, but, like, he is.
Maybe we can convince Kuori to put one of those baths in the inn.
Oh, my, yes.
Oh, my, yes.
You have to use, well, she's always making, like, armor and stuff, and that uses heat. So what if there was a way to, like,
Heat
put
the water?
the heat through pipes and then have the pipes go near the water, so that way the water's always warm and it doesn't end up getting cool as long as the furnace is going.
I think that can be arranged. Imagine
like,
being able to have one of those baths like every other night.
And Hart gets the look on his face like, oh yeah, it's all coming together.
You know, only thing standing in our way is an entire army worth of people and a, dragon heart.
Yeah, but Hart's been nervous about that for almost a month now. Like, he's fine on that end. Like, I feel like he is, like, by the time Kuori comes back, like, there is a piece of parchment out, and he has just been, like, after having freshly bathed, like, finger painting with ink, like, a stick figure of him, Kuori, and Lydia, and then, like, a heated bath.
I want to say that while Hart is at the baths, somebody, like, there are several other people also there, and I want to say that you don't recognize him, but the speaker of Tourmaline actually comes in because, like, that was a really stressful, that was a really stressful meeting. So, like, this half-orc will come in and sit next to you and just kind of, like, idly chit-chat about where he's from and, like what he does.
Yeah, Hart will do the same.
Yeah, he talks about how his parents were adventurers, and they didn't really make it, so he got adopted by the speaker, and he felt like this was kind of like what he was supposed to do. He doesn't know if he's doing a good job yet, but, like, he's doing his best.
And Tourmaline is where Lydia is from, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Hart will just reassure him. Be like, no, I know somebody from Tourmaline. They speak really highly of home. I'm sure you're doing a great job. Like, just be kind. And then at the end, just kind of like, or I guess, like, mid-conversation, be like, oh man, that really sucks. Like, before I started on this adventure, apparently, I was part of an accident that killed everybody that I knew. Then he's sort of like, what can you do?
Like awkward silence sitting in the springs.
But Hart like just like continues on without a beat. And he says, but it was, and I was feeling really down about it for a while, and I still do every once in a while, because all that's really left is my brother at this point. But I found new family along the way, and they've been really helpful, and they've been really kind. So, you know, I think that even if you're worried and nervous about if you're doing your best, if you're just surrounded by people who are rooting for you, regardless of what day it is, oh, this water's so nice, that as long as you do that, you have a good family.
And he seems to take that to heart. He gives you kind of this lopsided, tusky smile. And he like just sort of puts his hand on the back of your neck and sort of rattles you a little bit, just in camaraderie. And like you're all noodled up. So
yeah. It's the jingle, and like there's just wet Yeti fur that's up there now. Like it has routinely gotten wet and dried, but oh yeah. And then I think, yeah, I can definitely use Druidcraft to just like make it all smell nice and stuff in here. Definitely help.
Nice. All right. You spent some time getting to know the speaker from Tourmaline, probably not even necessarily realizing who you're talking to.
I mean, he announced like, oh, by the way, I'm the speaker of Tourmaline. Like he told me, but like that doesn't mean anything to me, really.
It kind of went over your head. You might recognize him from
The meeting.
like the meeting. Yeah. But like I don't know if Hart necessarily understands what a speaker does exactly.
No, he knows that, and I think he would tell the speaker of Tourmaline this, that from the speakers that he's met, one speaker just doesn't even do anything at the town that they went to. Instead, there's this older tiefling guy who just kind of like runs the town, it seems like, and he's definitely going to narc on the one town with Kadroth in Caer Denival.
Well, he starts asking a lot of questions, and like trying to narrow down what town you're talking about.
Hart's gonna say it's the one with the statue that's all wrapped in the chains underneath the ice.
This doesn't narrow anything down for him, but it all sounds very alarming.
It's where the Black Blades are. Like clearly.
I know where that is.
Like this is Hart like still trying to help him narrow it down.
Oh my gosh. He thinks that you're probably not necessarily all there, but Hart has set some wheels in motion to eventually figure this shit out. Oh my god.
Yeah, let's see.
Downtime episode. The gang gets tattoos and uncovers information that Danae was not prepared for.
You know what? That's what this is all about.
He'll say it's where the tavern, the uphill climb is. They stopped there for a quick second.
He like you see like the wheels start turning in his head, and like at some point he leaves a little bit like a little bit early and says like, I gotta go.
Have a nice day.
And like he kind of wanders off. You have put a bug in his mind, and he is going to start. He's gonna start trying to get to the bottom of this. Uh-oh,
John.
John. Okay.
Yeah, that's what Hart was doing at the bath. That's like gets back hanging out with Lydia.
I love that. That's great. And it's the best. Speaking of which, so Lydia's busy calling her family. Hart's hitting up a hot spring. Kuori, what would you be doing during this time?
Sorry, I spaced out for a bit.
That's fine.
Kuori is going to like the back of the inn and further into the snow.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to do this at night when the auroras are visible.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like slowly and methodically start taking their armor off, so they're kind of just left in the undershirt and sit cross-legged in the snow. They're gonna take out the silver cup that they had taken from the white dragonborn when they had disappeared, fill that up with like a nice peak of snow, and then looking up at the auroras for a moment, then back to the cup filled with snow. They're gonna take a small dagger and slash their finger
Mm-hmm.
and cover the top of the snow with blood, and then just sit with the cup, the silver goblet in their hands, and try to somehow connect to Aurel.
Okay. What is the intent in your heart as you reach out to Oral?
The intent in their heart is they feel lost. They don't know what they're meant to be doing, and they don't know why Arl shows them.
Okay. Roll me a religion check.
Oh god. This is gonna be horrible. I actually have +3 to religion. But it doesn't matter if I roll a 4, so a 7. Okay. I've only rolled 2 times in this fucking game, and I've gotten a 4 and an 8.
Kuori, you sit out, waiting numbly in the cold, for a response. You try and reach out to some higher power, looking for answers, looking for reason, looking for some sort of explanation for who you are and why these sorts of things happen to you. Your thoughts sort of drift. You think about Hart, who receives visions seemingly every night and gets more information than he can even process. You think about Lydia, who is very smoothly and, from your perspective, very easily beginning to fill the role of a cleric of the Raven Queen. And she seems to commune with her goddess so easily. And here you are, bleeding into a cup, waiting for literally anything. And you get nothing. I imagine that this is a conflicting moment for Kuori. And as you're probably looking down at the cup and then back up to the aurora in the sky, your eyes are drawn to your pack, in which you find, or in which you know is the source of any other answers that you seek that don't ask for anything in return. Your books.
Mm-hmm. I feel like they will, knowing that they're not gonna get a response, they're still gonna kind of stay there. Just feeling the small prickle of coldness that comes through their skin, and there's a frustrating sigh with just this big breath of cold air coming from her.
You hear a familiar voice from behind you, and it says, "Wow, that looks like some shady shit." And like you turn around to like, you know, like you whirl to like look at like what's like crept up on you, and a raven kind of flutters backwards, and like skitters into the snow, and looks back at you.
That's rich coming from you, Everest.
What? What are you talking about?
Cult of the Black Swords, Council of Wizards or some shit or other.
Well, what can I say? I've got friends in low places.
What do you
Speaking
want?
of which, a little bird told me that you're going to be looking for these dwarves under the snow.
Well, yeah.
I've got a little bit of information you might be interested in.
Well, I'm not getting a very helpful conversation tonight from who I was hoping, but I'm happy to listen.
You see the bird kind of eye the chalice that you were looking at. She says, a lot of people, when they get desperate, will look for answers wherever they can get them. And that's kind of how cults get started to begin with.
Coming from someone in a cult.
There's a difference between being in a cult and leading a cult.
Hell, you're leading the cult now, so you're like a step higher up now.
Well, ever since the coup, I didn't really want the responsibility, but you know, sometimes your hand gets forced.
So should I still be worried about the Black Swords or whatever the name that you have is trying to kill us, or is that like water under the bridge?
It can be. Just don't step on my toes and I won't step on yours.
What would constitute stepping on your toes?
That's a good question. We can talk about it later.
Well, we can. Are you planning on following me? Or finding me later? Because I got places to be in the morning.
Well, if all the prophecies shake out the way that they're supposed to be, we'll see each other again. But for now, the bird kind of like hops forward, and whenever Avarice is speaking to you through her familiar, the bird just like literally opens its mouth, and it's like it's just kind of projecting like a walkie-talkie or like a tin can. She says, "This Zardarok guy, he thinks he's following his own goddess, but he's not."
All right.
My ears in the hells tell me that there's a demon that is actually deceiving him.
Of course. So, should we be worried about demonic forces then as well?
Can't tell for sure, but it is interesting to know. I don't know how much it's going to help you. It doesn't really change the fact that he's got it out for us no matter what.
Yeah, I think the source doesn't matter as long as the outcome is going to be the same. Does demon have a name or something they call him by?
That's a good question. Wings literally forgot.
His name is Big Chungus.
You know,
I think it's
Asmodeus.
I'm pretty sure it's Asmodeus.
I thought they followed Asmodeus.
They do not.
Oh.
Not at all. I think that this conversation goes exactly like that. She's all like, I always forget this guy's name. I think it's Asmodeus. And you're like, I thought you worshipped Asmodeus. And she's like,
Which hell god does your cult worship then?
The only one that has anything to do with ice.
I forgot his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Levistus.
Kuori would know it was Levistus.
Levistus? Oh, okay, that makes sense. You know, we could talk more about this over dinner, should you want it to. Just saying.
You know what? Once we know for sure that there isn't an army about to break loose and like rain the wrong kind of hell on Icewind Dale, we can consider that.
Okay, I'm just saying I might die. I'll see you on the road. Cora's gonna pick up her stuff and just start walking back.
I was gonna say, that's not the pickup line you think it is.
No, but it's the truth. I never said it was a pickup line. Why? Because she doesn't have armor, she's gonna say, why do I need the pickup line when I look like this? And then just walk away.
There's just like a clicking noise from the raven, and it like whistles, and then it just leaves.
Listen, she's gotta have some sort of fun this evening. And the fucking
That's my Goliath.
Didn't.
Oh, Kuori.
That's my Goliath.
Kuori has got game.
I mean, don't look at me. Look at the little. Look at that. Look at that drawing you did of Kuori. Don't tell me that's not 100% beefcake. The other way.
Wagyu beefcake. Oh my gosh.
100% Wagyu beefcake.
What's our time look like? All right. We're coming up on time as far as I want to go. The night passes without too much trouble. Regardless of what you may be expecting, considering the words exchanged at the council meeting yesterday. You wake up at the break of dawn, and you get up on dog sleds, axe beaks, whatever your preference is for this travel, and you head directly south into the spine of the mountain. You have to travel for maybe about 1 or 2 days. It's mostly quiet and uneventful. And you start to come to about the place that you think that the fortress should be. And Kuori, as your eyes are tracing the mountain, searching for the... Oh my goodness. Searching for... any sort of sign of a fortress. You know that duergar fortresses, duergar architecture in general is generally undecorated, very utilitarian, very blocky. You are looking for anything that looks like that, when suddenly there is a rumble that you can feel deep in the bones of the earth. And there is a sound that sounds like a mountain cracking in half.
Hart is gonna rear back on Basket, and just sort of like looks over to Kuori.
That's not good.
We should hide.
Yeah. He's gonna take Detlef and just keep... God, Axebeaks have such weird names. I love it.
They named themselves.
That's true.
From high above comes a loud grinding noise as large sheets of ice break off of the fortress walls and tumble down the mountainside. Suddenly, great doors of ice previously hidden under the snow stand open more than 300 feet above you, and from between them flies a huge dragon made of dark ice. Its eyes glow with a bright golden light as it lets out a terrible roar, hurls itself into the air, and glides away from the fortress, then turns north and heads towards Tentowns. And that's where we're going to leave off for tonight.
Bitch, we late.
Whoops. Sorry, Big Chungus. Maybe next time.
The way that this thing roars is like it sounds like metal just kind of like grinding together and like reverberating over and over again within its like it's oh my gosh, this thing is terrifying. Like, has anybody seen like the first Thor movie?
Yes.
Like the critter from the first Thor movie is what I imagine this guy to be like, where it just like literally shoots lasers out of its face.
That's good, especially since it is leaving with a quickness away from us.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
We won't.
I hate it.
Hey, guess what, gang? The guests have to take care of this problem, it would seem. So, with that, I would like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by and join us for this wonderful session of Dungeons and Dragons. This was Rime of the Frostmaiden Part 23, Council of Speakers. I would like to say, first and foremost, Danae, thank you so much for running this game. We had a blast. Downtime always ends with a bang on this channel. Where can we find you? What do you do?
Hi everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. You can also find me at Danae Keener on Twitter. I've got a pinned tweet that shows my schedule and all of the things that I'm up to over there. So go and check it out, DanaeKeener.com.
Hi everyone, I stopped eating noodles at just the right time. My name's Satan, and I play Kuori here on Sunday night. So I was gonna say Thursday. We just wrapped that up. Where's our Hart tonight? I don't know why. But if you like to see more of my words not getting messed up because I can think about them before I push that tweet button, you can follow me on Twitter, Alice of Vamp, right in there. 2 P's. I post artwork, I talk about games, I post what I'm a part of. Right now I have some commissions open for some really cool black and white vintage portraits of your OCs if you would like to. And you can find me on many other games. You can find me here Thursday nights again soon, and as well as on Sunday mornings you can find me over at the Hobgoblin YRDM for a few friends of mine. And picking back up next month, you can find me over at Plot Hunters. We're an all LGBTQIA+ channel and POC channel. So if you like supporting those places, come watch us. We're gonna start on some Underdark adventures. So that's gonna be fun. But that's me. DanaeKeener.com.
Oh, hi, it's me, LizMac, and you can find me here on Twitch at LizMac or on Twitter at LizMacD22. When I'm not here every Sunday night in the frosty cold.
You're really quiet. I don't know why.
What?
Yep. Super quiet.
Hi, just follow me on Twitter. Also, I make a game called Operation Tango. It's really fun. You should play it. Normally, the speech is a lot better, but apparently my microphone is a piece of crap. DanaeKeener.com.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey, Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this on Monday and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as well as on Sundays at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/Indoor Adventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, including full playthroughs of Tomb of Annihilation, Curse of Strahd, Ghost of Saltmarsh, Waterdeep Dragon Heist, Tyrant Security, and now Masks, our Green Sun campaign, can also be found in its entirety on that YouTube as well. We're also available anywhere audiocasts are made available for free. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, we are going to be going into our Patreon-supported after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community, but also from each other. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us on that Patreon, and we will do our best to respond in kind. But until then, I would like to say once again, thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by. Thank you to Danae for putting up with our bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!